wildfires.
Champions, Geeter, and you know, I have to give them credit. They're a well-groomed basketball team. They believe in one another. Their bench is solid, the most solid bench I've seen in a long time, and they play good basketball. And some of those turnovers were forced by Oklahoma. They played really physical defense. I give them a lot of credit. The Lakers tried the best they could with what they have. Just didn't have enough, Geeter. Without Luka, without you know, his specialty, it puts a lot of pressure on Austin Reeves. And that Oklahoma defense is just really good. They really play physical. They force you into tough shots. They don't give you a lot of open shots, and that's just the way the game played out tonight.
You know, Danny, when you look at the third quarter in this series that has been dominated by OKC, in the first game it was 23-19, close enough, but that gave them a 12-point lead. It was 36-27 in game 2, and then in game 3, 33-20. That's where they opened it up.
Yeah, it seems like the second halves have been, you know, tough on the Lakers. And I'm going to say just the third quarter, because last game I feel like it was more the fourth quarter. They made it competitive, but ultimately couldn't score enough and also couldn't hold their other guys down. Like, they did a great job on Shea for most of the series. Other guys have answered the call. You know, tonight it was a Case and Wallace night. You know, AJ Mitchell played great last night and he played great tonight. Isaiah Joe made big shots. Like, they continued to score even though they got the ball out of SGA's hands. Like, those other guys played well. You know, Chet scored well. They shot well. And Lakers said they needed big nights. They need all hands on deck. They needed big nights from everybody, especially their stars. And they couldn't get it from Austin and Bron. They couldn't get their rhythm going. So if those two guys for sure don't have it going, you don't have much of a chance unless your defense can give that to you. And defensively, I think they had good philosophy, but they just shot. They've been shooting very well throughout the first 3 games of this series. And it's not just SGA. It's like the other guys, time and time again, are knocking down shots.
Their bench was plus 40 tonight?
Their bench had 44 points, James.
Yeah.
Again. Yeah.
That's a lot of bench points.
So big game. One of the others that Danny was referring to is A.J. Mitchell, second-year guard out of UC Santa Barbara. And unless you were watching a lot of Big West hoops, or you were Sam Presti, who went to Santa Barbara to scout someone else and ended up finding A.J. Mitchell, he called coach and said, I think we have someone that is very under the radar and not a lot of people know about. Listen, he played 7 minutes a game as a rookie in the playoffs, but this year the injuries to Jay Will and others has allowed him to kind of move into that rotation, and he has made the most of it. He is now starting for OKC with Jay Williams out. And tonight, big game, again, no answer for him. 24 points on 10 of 17 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3. He also had 10 assists, and he plays tough D with 3 steals.
He's in the right situation in the right time with this team.
I think at the cheapest deal you can find.
Second-year player.
Yeah.
Second-round draft pick.
They have him like under like a Bronny deal. They gave him like a 3-year, $7 million deal. So he's coming back for like 2.4. And you got to give them credit. You know, from the front office to down line to the coaching staff, Dagnall did a great job of calling the right guys. Last game was Jared McCain. I mean, he's been consistent. But this kid was a steal of the draft. You know, putting up 24 and 10 in a playoff game is remarkable. And not many people saw this coming, and he's been doing that all year. And again, they have him for cheap for the next couple of years. They can continue to get better and build with this kid and the other guys that they have, and they still have other draft picks. But yeah, Lakers, man, they tried, they fought. I think they fought better the last game than the game before. It looked like they're also a little fatigued. You know, Bron is 41 years old. It's hard to ask of him to consistently do it night in, night out to give you 30 and 40 points. That's just too much to ask of a 40-year-old. They're just outmatched, man. They have a lot. They didn't have the depth that the Thunders have. The Thunder has a lot with them. Their starting lineup and their bench, and they have so many guys that they can call on to step up and make plays like A.J. Mitchell did. Yeah,
this is one of those nights, James, where you needed Austin Reeves and LeBron James to have big games, and you can credit the Oklahoma defense as well. They're not allowing anything easy, especially with these two, the way they're guarding them. But both LeBron and Austin Reeves, you see LeBron with the 18 on 7 of 19, the 2 for 6 from 3, and Austin Reeves just 5 of 13, 1 for 5 from 3, and the 3 assists. Austin did get to the free throw line 8 times and made 6 of them, but tough night.
Yeah, well, Danny just said it. I mean, Oklahoma's deep. They're so deep that they can go, 9, 10 players and get the same type of productivity. They also, in a 7-game series, when you're dependent on limited players, like you got to depend on LeBron and Austin. Well, a good defensive team, just like we did against Shea in the first couple games, a good defensive team, they're not going to allow Austin and LeBron, to dominate the game. They're just not going to do it. So then you have to rely on others. Aiton's, not really the dominant player. Rui has done his job. They did a good job on Kennard too. So when you're not as deep, each game is going to be tougher for you. That's why it was tougher for Austin, because they just loaded up on him, and they're physical, and they take away a lot of his comfort shots.
Yeah, I got to go back to the turnovers thing. Yeah, they were better tonight, but still not great. We have 16, 17 turnovers.
17, for 30.
And but on the flip side of it, OKC took care of the ball. They got a lot of shots on goal. They had, I think, 9 for the game.
Yeah, they had 8 when they took out their starters. They got too late.
So there you
under
go.
10.
Yeah, under 10 turnovers for most of the game. So they took care of the ball. They got shots on goal. They rebounded well. Again, I mean, 45 from 3, and that's like with Shea kicking it to other guys. 56 from the field. But usually you live with that. You want those other guys to outshoot Shea or have more shot attempts because the numbers are in your favor. Not with this group. This group has a lot of guys that are efficient.
Yeah, you kind of led me to my next thing. We talk so much about that Oklahoma City defense, but their offense tonight, when you look across the board, the efficiency, they shot 58% from the field, 44 from 3, with 17 threes. They had 64 points in the paint, so they can attack you so many different ways. Big game. The under 10 turnovers until late in the game. And again, the bench with 44 points.
And it doesn't happen by accident. They're a well-groomed offense. Each pass is, for a reason. And when you get guys like, Chet getting high percentage shot, the center, he's getting, little floaters and putbacks. And then you have to help. And when you have to help, they're finding the open man for open shots, Skeeter. And it's just hard to rotate to every man. They make you work on defense. You have to switch, you have to be alert, and they're moving the basketball. So that just goes to show you, they're defending champions. And when you're defending champions, you're well-groomed. You know how it is when you win a championship, you come back with the same guys. You don't have to teach much. You add a few components. You just keep doing it, and that's what they're doing, man. They're a tough team.
Well, a machine, like Big Game said. And as I'm looking, Lakers didn't play bad. They shot really well from 3. Throughout the game, I thought they had a chance. Rui came out hot. Kennard actually had a really good game tonight. They shot 47% from 3, and I think 47 from the field. That most nights will get you a win. Yeah. But you just can't have 17 turnovers, and you're playing against Oklahoma City Thunder, who guys can shoot and score. And again, they're a championship DNA type of team, well-oiled machine. You can't have any errors or mistakes against them. They're going to capitalize on them.
All right, time to hear from Coach J.J. Redick, brought to you by your Toyota dealers.
Talked about OKC's depth. Do you think that's part of what's happening in the kind of the second halves, is the last couple of games, or where do you see that trend in how they're able to eventually pull away?
Yeah, again, it's a strength of their team.
JJ, when you guys go from the lead and they went on that 21-5 run to start the third, what was not happening other than not making shots?
Well, again, the turnovers, we lower number, but they still scored 30 points off those turnovers. I think we had 5 of them in the third. I think all of them actually led to them getting fast break transition baskets. I don't know what the ended up being, but I know at one point they were 11 of 17 from 3 in the second half. You're not getting stops. It's harder to score. But again, the MVP is 18, 22, 7 of 20 tonight, and they've kicked our ass 3 straight games. They're an incredible basketball team.
JJ, beyond what you saw in Game 2 that led you to share your post-game thoughts, sometimes coaches will try to plant seeds to change the tide of a series. Did you feel like the officiating, there was any impact in it compared to last game after your remarks?
No, I mean, again, I said after the game we didn't lose that game too because of the officiating. Just pointing out some discrepancies. That's all.
JJ, what was your message to your team down 3-0, knowing that you guys have done some stuff very right, and to your words,
third straight game, we're right there after 2.5 quarters, and we tried different lineups, tried different coverages, still lost those minutes again. We've got to be better, but I'm not giving up on the series, and we're going to go try to win on Monday. We're going to try to extend the series, and we're going to try to take this thing back to OKC.
Was that kind of did you sense any of that energy from your group already?
No.
Not yet. No, I'm sorry. Like that they still have fight.
Oh yeah, for sure.
JJ, how many different things have you had to try in this series, like compared to a typical series? Or I know there's a 7-game series, there can be a lot of adjustments, but just even in these first 3 games, like Maxi's out there today, Dude's out there early.
Again, I think it's typically if you can poke holes at a team in a playoff series, there's a good chance they might have like a temporary solution or can sort of adjust maybe a little bit. This team in game, because of their personnel, can just adjust like that. They need shooting on the floor, great. They need multiple wing defenders on the floor, great. They need 2 bigs on the floor, great. They're a terrific basketball team. I said that before the series. Been very impressed with them. Still think we can beat them, but we got to be better.
Does that make you how does that make you feel as a coach? Like you can try all these things, but sometimes it doesn't matter in a way.
It doesn't matter how I feel.
JJ, you guys have obviously shown resiliency all season. Down 0-3, what is the message for Game 4, and how much different is it than anything else that you've said in the past?
It's the exact same message I just told to Dan. I think I was verbatim what I told the team. So.
LeBron James is Mike Trudell.
LeBron, you knew the challenge that they were going to present. Pretty obvious the way that they're able to kind of wear on teams as the game goes on. What were some of the adjustments that you guys tried to make tonight, and what did they do to repel some of those back?
Obviously the third quarter. We start with that. We didn't have the energy, the effort, and they put a 30-plus point quarter on us, and kind of took care of the game right there, honestly. We had moments, obviously, in the first half that was really good for us. We did a good job of sharing the ball and knocking down shots. In that third quarter, we didn't knock down shots. We didn't defend or get stops, I would say. We did defend, but we didn't get stops, and it allowed them to kind of take control of the game.
What is your level of anger and or disappointment?
I'm going to say I'm not angry or disappointed. Obviously, you're disappointed, and it's a fact like you being down 3-0, obviously. But, we still got life, and that's all you can ask for, and we got to be much better on Monday. See what happens.
JJ compared the Thunder to some of the 90s Bulls teams or the 17-18 Warriors teams. Said they're an all-time great team. You obviously played against those 17-18 Warriors teams. Do you think this Thunder team ranks right up there?
They're pretty damn good from top to bottom, and they don't let their foot off the gas.
LeBron, in the third quarter, collectively, you guys are minus 31. What's happening in the third quarter, them versus what you guys are doing?
I don't know. But obviously the number speaks for itself.
When you guys played Oklahoma City, and I think it was February or something like that, you talked about how it's their ability to sustain energy, to sustain execution. Going up against that in this series, just what have you kind of made of their stamina in that way?
No, it's not nothing. It's because it's not surprising. You've seen them over the years. They have a lot of bodies, and they got a lot of guys that can do multiple things on the floor. So, it helps to have that depth.
But what kind of effort will it take to get one game
What's it going to take from you guys?
I mean, obviously we got everything, shit. You know, I mean, everything and more to beat a team like this. You know, so we got to be our best, be at our best on Monday.
Bob, when you guys get to any team gets to an elimination scenario, it literally could be the last time that group is together as it's constructed. Is that something that a group should acknowledge or does acknowledge? And what's key to you don't just focusing on that?
Nah, you don't really talk about that. You focus on the moment at hand and go from there.
JJ was talking about how they have the ability to kind of shape-shift within the course of a game and just adjust because of the different personnel that they have. You've been on some teams like that, but what is the challenge when you're trying to almost put something out on the floor that they have and they're able to just switch on the fly?
I mean, it's very challenging. They have the proper personnel to be able to, like you said, shape-shift whatever you kind of put out there. And, and still be productive no matter who's on the floor.
All right, Danny, time now for a little Access 360. Marcus Smart, he's done a great job on SGA this series,
man.
But the Thunder depth is
he's done a great job all around. Just hasn't been able to shoot it as good as he would like to. But he's picking up the energy, he's picking up the force, picking up intensity, especially defensively. And it starts right from the shot taking. You see him, as soon as they get the rebound, he's picking them up full court. Let him know I'm there. You're feeling me. I'm not going to just let you get comfortable. Puts him in a little hurry, puts him in a rush, makes him turn the ball over a little bit. Same here. As soon as the free throw, as soon as they get the rebound, he's going right to SGA. He don't care about anything else. I'm letting you know I'm in your space. You're not going to be comfortable. You're going to see my face. You're going to smell my breath all night. And as soon as you get the ball, it's going to be me. You get the switch here. Rui does a good job of letting him feel him as well, putting a hand in there, not fouling, but contesting that mid-range. Makes him miss a little off the mark. So again, right here, LeBron Kennard's feeling him, bumping him a little bit. Marcus Smart hits the switch on him, gives him a little cushion, knows that he's not really want to shoot the three much. He wants to get to the basket and shoot mid-range. Late contest on that three, makes him miss. But Marcus Smart did a great job all from the start of it. And whenever the shot goes up, most people run back and find a guy. He's like, no, I'm going straight to SGA. I don't care about getting back. And this has allowed him to get in plays, give him second possessions, also speed SGA up a little bit and make him uncomfortable so they can get, a steal in the backcourt and another offensive possession. So he's done a great job all series of just being in his space and making him know, making him aware that I'm always going to be there. And he don't care about anybody else or anything else, but making sure SGA does not feel or get the ball in where he wants it, especially to start the offense.
I think JJ said it best, and great breakdown right there, Danny, and props to Marcus Smart, the coaching staff. They've done a really nice job game planning and playing against SGA. As JJ said, we played about as well as you can on it, but they're still kicking our ass in these 3 games. But that's because the other guys have stepped up and raised their level and have knocked down shots. That's part of basketball. That's what championships teams do. But got to give credit to Marcus Smart in this regard. But also SGA, man, like when they didn't double him, he started to find his rhythm a little bit there.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, look, the Lakers as a whole defense has been, pretty good, with the exception of, guys, turning the ball over and getting some, giving up offensive rebounds and getting buckets that way. But Marcus Smart, for sure, a veteran, a defensive genius over his whole career, knows how to make you uncomfortable. Like a lot of guys won't pick you up for a court like that because, hey, you're not in the threat area. They try to rest a little bit before they get in half court. Not Marcus. He's going to pick you up, take away your oxygen early, make you uncomfortable from the beginning. And that's just, old school pickup defense right there. And he's good at it. He's good at what he does.
Yeah. It's kind of disappointing to see this much effort be put in or given by all these guys and not get the result. At least one of them. But again, you got to give a lot of credit to the other group and, of course, the coaching staff. But they just had an unbelievable series of just shooting lights out. But this takes nothing away from the Lakers and how much they fought. They didn't quit, and I expect them to come in Game 4 the same and possibly, have a lot of pride and actually get Game 4. So they might be able to do that, but as it stands right now, that team is in really good rhythm and shooting very well.
Danny, one of the keys to this OKC team, when you start to really watch them closely, and you watch them a lot in the playoffs, is the play of Chet Holmgren. When this team was younger, you felt, hey, you could be physical with them, you can punk them a little bit, you can get them in trouble, you can make them uncomfortable, you can rattle them. They've won a title now. They've taken the right steps to get there. Just can't throw them off their game, really. I mean, you can be he can handle the physicality now. He's a lot tougher than he used to be. He can shoot the three, he can extend the floor. He's also crashing boards. He's making the right decisions. He's a tough cover and a huge part of this Thunder team.
I mean, Chet has made some tremendous strides this year with the absence of J-Dub. And that's also not just settling for three, but getting close to the basket. And it's hard to just play him one-on-one when you got Hartenstein, right? Like, it's hard to just box him out. It's hard to just be physical with him. You got two bigs down there, so it opens the floor for each other. But even when he's out there by himself, you know, he's playing with high confidence. He's knocking down shots. He's making plays at the rim. He's making Euro steps. He's keeping it simple. He's not, you know, overdoing it. But when you're 7'4", the game's a little bit easier. When you got touch and footwork and can shoot it, you know, there's a reason why when this kid was coming out, they had that rivalry, him and Wemby. They're kind of comparing to why he was second in Defensive Player of the Year voting, because he's a very good player. And, you know, he may not be at the Wemby level right now, but if he continues to progress, you don't even know where he can end up.
Yeah, he's not a stationary big either. You know, like a lot of bigs, they know their areas and they kind of are in that place. He moves around a lot, man. He moves from the three. When the ball moves, he moves into the open areas. He got a lot of just like free dunks from moving into the right area. As the defense was rotating, he moves with the defense into open areas. He's just a hard guard, man. He's just tough. He's stronger than he's been in the past, and you can't knock him around. He's a solid matchup problem for me, for any team.
All right, guys. Austin Reeves.
Austin, JJ was talking about the part of the difficulty with OKC and that they can just switch their points of emphasis in a game on the fly. They've got the personnel to kind of do what they need to do. What has that challenge been, and where have you guys focused on trying to get over the hump with them?
Yeah, I mean they're a connected group that their pieces fit basically perfect. So it's tough to beat them, and they got a good coaching staff over there that does a good job, you know, managing the game the way that his team needs the game to be managed, and they got really good players.
Was it a matter of, excuse me, no matter what you tried to do, they had an answer for it?
I mean, you could say that. Thought we played a really good, you know, first half, even a little bit in the third quarter. It's kind of been the trend the last couple games. Just got to figure out how to take that first half and move it to the second.
You mentioned that third quarter, the third quarters for the series. I think they're outscoring you by 31 for the first three games. What have you seen out there, I guess, from game to game that's led to the struggles coming out of halftime?
I'll have to watch the film.
You guys have talked a lot about, and JJ's talked about the way they can blitz at times, and they did that in the third quarter today, and having halftime leads in the last two games. What is it that they're doing with that high-intensity pressure that is becoming difficult for you guys to stop those runs?
That's basically the same question. So if I had the answers, we would not struggle with it.
How do you build on something positive? How do you mentally, emotionally scratch this off and try to get one Monday?
Yeah, I mean, you come and compete. You know, there's a bunch of guys in this locker room that are competitors, and you know, basically the message after the game was just, we're going to come in here Monday and we're going to get a win. You know, obviously this situation sucks, but that doesn't, you know, that doesn't give us the license to quit. We got to come in here and compete. We, you know, owe the organization that. We owe each other that. We owe our fans that. So we're going to come here Monday and play as hard as we can. For sure.
So here coming off his best game in game two, guys, but struggled here in the third. Danny, I'll start with you. 0 for 5, 0 for 4 to start that first quarter. 0 for 4 from 3. Just seems like they're able to speed it and just don't give him a lot of room to operate. The length, the athleticism, throwing a lot of bodies at him. I mean, he plays as hard as he can. He does everything he can, does not give up, as James said earlier. But it was a tough night.
Yeah, I mean, you hit it right on the nail. All those things you said I was going to say. Like, Austin is a very good ball player. Like, he's really good. All-star caliber player. I think he would have been all-star this year had he not gotten hurt. But against this OKC defensive team, they make a lot of all-stars look very average and regular, especially when they're able to key on you. So if he doesn't have Luke out there to open up the floor from him, Bron at full health, like, it's harder. They're able to, like, just lock in on him and play some of their best defenders on him, not one but two. When you have a full healthy team, maybe not so much. When he's that third guy or that second guy, he can go at the second defender. But even then, this team is loaded with so many defenders. They're able to slow down Luka, Austin. We've seen even at health, like how they played against them. This group, you got to give them a lot of credit. They have a lot of wing defenders, a lot of size, big men, length, and Coach Dagnall has a good defensive system where he has them on a string, communicating, talking, and also know how to limit the stars, double them at the right time, throwing different things at them, not giving them a steady diet of the same thing, so they can't just read what the answers are on the test. So yeah, all in all, to put it, Thunder all around are a great defensive group organization, and that's just the result of why Austin's not been able to break free from this team.
Yeah, just shortly, this didn't happen when the playoffs started. I mean, this team's been doing this for a couple years, man. So they're well groomed. So it's not like they're a good defensive team. No, this is what they do on a nightly basis. So to be expected.
All right, guys, another big game for Rui Hachimura. Led the team with 21 points tonight. Let's check out how the series has played out after the first 3 games. OKC 108-90, 125-107, 131-108. Game 4 set for Monday night in LA. Tip-off on Prime, set for 7:30. Of course, we'll have the pregame coverage at 6:30. Here's Marcus Smart with Mike Trudell.
Marcus, just what's kind of the mindset here? Obviously, they're a good team. Obviously, you're down 3-0, right? What do you try to bring forth as you head into Game 4?
Energy. We gotta stay with it. Got to be even more desperate than we are, and we got to stay together and stay composed, and just leave it all empty, what we call empty in the tank. Just leave it all on the floor.
Third quarters are over here, Marcus. I'm sorry. Third quarters collectively, you guys are down 31 points in 3 games. What's going on in that window in that third quarter?
If I could tell you, we wouldn't be having this conversation. No, we're trying to figure it out. We're throwing a lot at us on the fly, throwing different coverages, trying things. And it is tough. You're playing against the defending champs, and they do a really good job of making you pay when you make mistakes. So the margin for errors are very, very slim, and they're doing a really good job of, coming out in that third quarter and throwing the first punch.
Especially in that third quarter today, it seemed like you guys were going after DA or trying to feed DA the ball. What are you seeing from him? How do you kind of get him going? He's obviously going to be really important in this series.
Yeah, DA is a hell of a player. We all know it, and we just want to get him the touches and get him to feel early, just to give him, a different look, right? Me, LeBron, AR, Rui, Luke, all the guards are doing their thing. So, we're just trying to get the big fella involved.
Before the series, JJ compared this Thunder team to those mid-90s Bulls with MJ, the Warriors that went on the Dynasty. Because he cited the net range. Just how do you play against those Warriors teams? Just how do you compare and contrast this Thunder team with those Warriors teams?
Definitely. Both teams did a good job of getting in the paint, right? Controlling the paint, scoring in the paint, and then the series falling after that. And, with that same thing with those Warrior teams, everybody thought, they shoot the ball very well, and that's what's killing them, but give up 60 paint points. That's it right there. So, the threes aren't going to kill you, but if you're giving up paint points like that in threes, then that's when, it starts to get out of hand.
How would you compare specifically their ability to go on those 8-0, 10-0, 12-0, just those back-breaking runs?
It's unique. Definitely unique, and that's why they defend the champs, right? They got a really good staff, really good players, and a really good system that everybody buys in, and it makes it tough on you. So, you tip your cap to them, and you go out there next game and we try to give it everything we got.
What's the feeling like of an elimination scenario, knowing all the, ways things can go in the offseason for a group? Literally be your guys' last chance to play with one another as it is currently constructed, and how's that part of your thought process going into this time of year?
To be honest, I haven't even thought about it. Trying not to get my ass kicked too much out there, right? So that's where my focus is, and I'll worry about that after this series, whenever this playoffs is over for us. So right now, the series is the most important to me, and that's what's on my mind.
Anything else?
Thank you.
Point differential here, you see the 2026 semifinals, OKC on an average of 19.7. You see the other.
It's a big gap.
First round struggles. Spurs, Portland back in 92.
I was on that team.
Yeah, you were. I didn't want to bring that up, but you were back on that. Here's Luke Kennard with Mike Trudell.
Hey, Luke, JJ had talked about just how good Oklahoma City is at adjusting what they need, just with the personnel that they have to be able to shapeshift almost to adjust to the adjustment that you try to make. What's the frustration level of that when you put a lot into it and you're competing and you go to something that you thought was going to impact it and they're able to kind of persevere like they did?
I mean, they're a really good basketball team. They got a really good coach. There's not a lot of room for error against those guys. And we know that. And obviously we need to have more of an awareness going into the next game. But, they got guys that can make plays. And, we need to be ready next game. And I think especially in that second half, third quarter especially, has just been killing us. And we know it. It's in our minds. And hopefully we can get together, talk about it tomorrow, figure some things out, and be ready to go.
All right, Game 4, it's Monday. The pregame show will start on our network at 6:30. Then you can turn over to Prime, 7:30. And then after the game, you know what to do. Make sure you come back for the postgame show. We'll have it all for you. All the sound, all the breakdown. And guys, we look ahead to game number 4. You heard it from Luke Kennard right there. You're in this situation. You both have been there before where you're facing elimination. You're down 0-3. You know the deck is stacked against you, but you can't worry about that. It's just one game, James, and you got to go out and try to get it and do whatever you can in front of your home crowd. And to me, man, it just seems like, can you sustain? Can you get into that fourth quarter in a tight game? Because every second half has just been all OKC.
And that's
not that the fight's not there and the battle's not there.
The fight's there, the battle's there, the desire to win and fight is there. It's just that OKC is better in the third and fourth quarter, and that's what the Lakers need to really focus on. I think the first half they do a really good job of keeping it close and competing, but then there's a 5-minute surge somewhere in the third that just Oklahoma's just really good and they're prime. That's what they do and have been doing all season long. So they're used to that. You just have to be ready to match that and slow them down in the third.
You know, Dan, you see, and you see a 10-point lead in the first quarter by OKC, but Lakers are able to get back in it, get a lead at halftime. It just feels like they wear you down, though, and it's a different kind of energy level in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's about pride, right? And I think it's steps to coming back. We haven't seen anybody do it. We see Miami force a Game 7 being down 0-3. That was only a couple years ago. Can you do that? Possibly. I don't see why not, but it takes with the first game, pride, and then the second game, maybe shock them. The next you're building confidence, you might have them on their heels, but you got to take it one game at a time. And right now, you got to just fight with some pride.
Appreciate you both being here tonight. Good work. Big game, James Worthy and Danny Green, Mike Trudell.